Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope that you have watched my previous video that was related about standard costing, in which I tried to explain that how standards are made, and then I also showed by solving and explaining the question and reaching towards the sales price of a product that should be after getting the standard of materials, standard of labor, and standard of factory overheads. Today I'm going to talk about the theoretical perspective of standard costing. Why do we need standard costing? What advantages we can get by making standards, and then what problems we can face having a standard costing. Uh, Basically, standard costing is considered as a control technique because it helps to measure the actually to measure the resources consumed that should be consumed on our product. These resources are your direct material, direct labor, and factory overheads. So standard costing is a control technique that reports variances by comparing actual cost to preset standards that we are talking about. So facilitating actions through management by exceptions. I'm just going to talk about in a uh, next slide what is management by exceptions. In fact, management basically focus where the attention is required. When something is conformed to the standards, then management don't need to waste their time and then move forward. Uh, in fact, standard costing for control therefore involves following things. Number one, establishment of predetermined estimates of cost of product or services. As I already mentioned, that uh, you need to establish what could be the cost of our product or service. Then the collection of actual cost. So the first step is you make standards, and then the second step is you calculate the actual cost that has been incurred for producing the products. And then the third stage is the comparison of actual cost with the predetermined estimates. Predetermined means standards. So predetermined costs are known as standard cost, and the difference between standards and actual is known as a variance. The process by which the total difference between standard and actual result is analyzed is known as variance analysis. And in my upcoming lectures, in the next chapter, basically, I will talk about the variance analysis. This variance analysis basically makes analysis of the difference between the standard of material and the actual cost of material incurred on a product. Similarly, the standard of labor cost and the actual labor cost incurred on a product, and finally the standard of variable overheads and the actual overheads incurred. uh, when we talk about the historical cost as well as with the standard cost, the main focus of attention is the future orientation. A focus on future is one of the principal difference between work of cost and management accountant and the work of financial accounting. I explained it in detail about the difference between financial accounting and management accounting in my earlier lectures. I explained that financial accounting is for the uh, external users, and it provides the historical information that has been incurred already, whereas management accounting is concerned about the future orientation. They are not concerned about the historical, although they consider it, but they basically use it uh, uh, as a historical data so that they can make a better plans. However, the major thing is that they always think about the future orientation. So financial accountants are concerned with the ensuring that accounting records show a true and fair view of the organization's operations over accounting period. Say for example 12 months. Normally an accounting period is for 1 year considered. So financial accounting always uh, conform to the principle of true and fair fair view, it means that their uh, their accounts are showing accurate entries, accurate accounting records. Cost and management accounting, on the other hand, are not so worried about the absolute validity, accuracy, and verifiability of past events and transactions. Given their focus on planning, control, and decision making, they are more concerned with what is likely to happen in future. So their orientation is future orientation rather than the historical orientation. And I just mentioned about management by exception in my previous slide. In fact, it is a practice of concentrating on activities that require attention, because management needs to put their attention where there is a discrepancy, and they don't need to waste their time, which are, they don't need to consider about when there is no when there is conformity with the standards. So ignoring those which appear to be conforming to the expectations means everything is going in a correct way. Typically, standard cost variances from budget are used to identify those activities that require attention. It means that there is some kind of discrepancy between the actual output and the standard the management made. Uh, when we prepare the standards, we have to keep in mind different aspects. For example, the management has to see the monetary parts of standards. They have to see the standard direct material prices, standard direct labor rates, standard variance overhead rates, because uh, the variance occurs on these components. In monetary part of standards, we see that this monetary means, we are talking about the monetary values. So the variance may occur from standard direct material, standard direct labor, and standard variable overheads. Not fixed variable overheads, because whether you make production or not, it doesn't matter because they don't change it. In direct material, price will be estimated by purchasing department from their knowledge of following. For example, uh, purchase contract already agreed, the forecast movement of price in market, and availability of bulk purchase discounts. These make basically variances when you make standards. So price inflation can, for example, cause difficulties in setting realistic standard price. Suppose that a material cost $10 per kilogram at the moment, and during the course of the next 12 months, it is expected to go up in the price by 20% to 12 uh, per kilogram. So what standard price should be selected? The current price of $10 per kilogram, or the average expected price for the year, for example, $11 per kilogram. Either would be possible, but neither would be entirely satisfactory. If the current price were used in the standard, the reported price variance will become adverse as well as price goes up, which might vary early in the year. If price goes up gradually rather than in one big jump, it would be difficult to select an appropriate time for revising the standards. So there is a problem here. So if an estimated mid-year price were used, price variance should be favorable in the first half of the year and adverse in second half of the year, again assuming that price go up gradually throughout the year. Management could only uh, check that in any month the price variance did not become excessively adverse or favorable, and that price variance switched from being favorable to adverse around month 6 or 7, or maybe not sooner. So there could be a problem with the with the material prices. Then direct labor rate per hour will be set with the discussion of personnel departments, I mean HR departments, and by reference to payroll to an agreement on pay rise and so on. So a separate hourly rate or weekly wage will be set for each different labor grade type of employee. So for example, you have skilled labor, you have to choose a different wage rate. When you have a skilled labor, you would be required to have a higher uh, hourly rates and so on. An average hourly rate will be applied for each grade, even though individual rate of pay may vary according to age and experience as well. Similarly, problems when dealing with the inflation to these described for material prices can be met when setting labor standards. Finally, establishing the input of labor and material required for each unit of output is usually a fairly straightforward, because you already know that what could be the material price, what could be the labor price. Uh, However, it is very difficult for calculating the standard variable overhead rates. Variable overhead rate can be established by looking at past relationship between changes in cost and changes in activity level. Activity level means like machine hours, labor hours, that the basis you have already taken it. The problem is in establishing which type of activity exerts the greatest influence on the cost: direct labor, machine hours, quantity of material used, unit of output, and so on. Normally, performance standards are divided into four components. One is ideal standard, the second one is attainable standards, the third one is current standards, and the fourth one is basic standards. In ideal standards, which are made for an ideal situation, are based on most favorable operating conditions with no wastage, no inefficiencies, no idle time, and no breakdowns. These standards are likely to have an unfavorable motivational impact on the employees, because employees will uh, often feel that the goals are unattainable and not work so hard, because they feel that these are not easily possible to achieve such ideal standards, because operating conditions are not so conducive for uh, obtaining these standards. Then the second one are based on the efficient but not perfect operating conditions, which are normally considered as better standards. Some allowance is made for wastage, inefficiencies, machine breakdown, and fatigue, etc. Because in these attainable conditions, you see that sometimes there could be electricity breakdown that might happen mainly in our country. Machines could be have some problem. So if well set, they provide a useful psychological incentive, and for these reasons they should be introduced whenever possible. The consent and cooperation of employees involved in improving the standards are required. Then the third one is current standards, which are based on current working conditions, current wastage, current inefficiencies. The disadvantage of current standard is that they do not attempt to improve on current level of efficiency, which may be poor and capable of significant improvements. Finally, the basic standards, which are standard that are kept unaltered over a long period of time and may be out of date. They are used to show changes in efficiency or performance over an extended time period. Basic standards are perhaps the least useful and least common type of standards which are adopted by the corporations. There are some problems uh, when we make when we make standards. For example, deciding how to incorporate inflation into planned unit cost, and inflation is a major factor that increases the uh, cost of your production, your price of material could be increased with inflation, labor price could be increased, and some other factory overheads. So this is very important. Then agreeing on a performance standards attainable or ideal, which one we have to make. Deciding on quality of material to be used. A better quality of material will cost more, but perhaps reduce material wastage. Then estimating material price, where seasonal price variations or bulk purchase discount may be significant. Then finding sufficient time to construct accurate standards, as standard setting can be a time consuming process as well. Incurring cost of setting up and maintaining a system for establishing standards. Dealing with possible behavioral issues, as I already mentioned in my uh, earlier classes, that behaviors are the most important element in an organization. A management accountant who better understands the behavior of the employees in an organization is a better provider and receiver of an information. So dealing with the possible behavior problems, manager responsible for achievement of standards, possibly resisting the use of a standard costing control system for fear of being blamed for any adverse variances. So these are basically the issues that could happen when we make standards. However, there are some advantages as well when we make standards. For example, carefully planned standards are an aid to more accurate budgeting. Standards cost provide a yardstick against which actual cost can be measured. The setting of standards involves determining the best material and method which may lead to cost economies. A target of efficiency is set for employees to reach, and cost consciousness is stimulated. Variances can be calculated, which enables the principle of management by exceptions to be operated, and I explained it what is management by exceptions. I just give a few words about it again so that you can uh, remember it, that management basically focus on the areas which needs attention. When there is a discrepancy, the management will move towards and give their due time to make some corrective to basically make some corrective things. So only the variations which exceeds acceptable tolerance limits needs to be investigated by management with a view to control actions. Uh, Standard costing simply process of bookkeeping in cost accounting because they are easier to use than LIFO, FIFO, and weighted average. In fact, I'm just skipping it. I'm not going in the details because we have not gone through it about what is LIFO. Uh, these are basically the costing methods: last in, first out inventory, first in, first out inventory, or use a weighted average cost uh, system. Standard time simply the process of production scheduling. And then standard performance levels might provide an incentive for individuals to achieve target for themselves at work. This will help them to motivate and show the management about your skills. So these are basically the theoretical perspective of uh, standard costing. So I just overviewed about them. They are all available in your book. So I hope so that and I advise you to go there and read. And if you have any problem, you can contact me. We can also discuss it about uh, the standard costing in our live streaming session. So up to now, uh, thank you very much, and take care of yourself. Uh, and we will also meet in our next video. Allah Hafiz.